Hey, this is Andrew, and I am bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal. This one is a Call of the Archons deck reveal. So right here on the edge of jumping into the Age of Ascension, um, this might seem a little less exciting, but I'm pretty excited about it. I won this in a dual deck survival event earlier today. It was only 6 people, uh, but I managed to beat a pretty crazy good OTK, library access, Nepenthe Seed, phase shift, key charge combo deck with one of my decks, and that's always real tenuous and against a good player too. So I'm always thrilled when I can do that. It made me feel pretty pretty hopeful for little old me in the big world of Keyforge decks. But anyway, won, and this was deck that I got as a prize for winning. I opened it up, played against the second place player who also won a deck. He managed to win that game, but I feel like this deck has quite a bit more potential that I just need to figure out the right play order. So I have seen the cards, but I'm still pretty excited and ready to share with you. So here we go. This is Latesmith, the Diplomat of Kisshampton, and it is an Untamed Dis and Logos deck. Starting off with Dis, we have Fear, return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. That can be pretty good. A little more flexible than Hand of Dis, if not as final. So pretty good. Mind Barb, gain an Amber and your opponent discards a random card from their hand. I have mixed feelings about this. However, this deck has 3 copies of it, and that's pretty cool. I mean, if you can pull off 2 or 3 of these in a turn, then you're potentially doing some real work. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad to see the multiples there. Plus, it's good Amber generation. Pandemonium gains an Amber, and then each undamaged creature captures 1 from its opponent. I managed to hold my opponent off from forging for a little bit with this in the one game I've played, so that was nice. Dust Imp, there's 2 copies of that in here. It's a 2-power imp that when it's destroyed you gain 2 Amber. That's strong Amber gain. It's good. Ember Imp is a 2-power imp that prevents your opponent from playing more than 2 cards each turn. And that can be pretty great. I'm especially excited about having this with the Mind Barbs, because I feel like getting my opponent to a point where they just aren't able to do much is great. There's just a lot of ways to keep my opponent from doing a lot of work. Restringentus, also really excited about having this with the Mind Barbs, because it means there's a chance I can get my opponent into a situation where they just really can't do much for several turns. That could be great. It didn't work out that time that way. This earlier today, I didn't get the Restringentus. I did get the Ember Imp, and it was a really good turn 1 play, but ultimately didn't pan out. But this is my first deck with a Restringentus, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's a strong card, a lot of potential, and I am excited. 2 copies of the Terror, 5 power, and if your opponent has no Amber when it's played, you gain 2. That can be strong in the right situations. Actually, you know what? That's right. The Pandemonium didn't prevent a key, but it did lay the way for a Terror getting Amber. So decent potential for work to be done there. And then lastly, we have a Toxin. Toxin is 3-power demon that says reap. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand. So that works well with the Mind Barbs. This potential to have a turn where they discard 3, or a couple turns where they discard 2, which again can actually do some good work as opposed to just discarding 1, which I'm less excited about. So yeah, fun stuff. Definitely a different Dis setup than any of my other decks, but I'm pretty happy about it. All right, on to Logos, and we have a Help from Future Self, which means we're guaranteed to have a Timetraveller in here, and I'm pretty excited because this is my first time getting a Timetraveller in a deck that I've opened. So so today was actually my first time, playing a Timetraveller in real life. So that was fun. Help from Future Self gains you an Amber. You search your deck and discard pile for a Timetraveller. You reveal it. You put it in your hand, and then you shuffle your discard pile into your deck. So that's pretty nice. And Timetraveller comes up at the end, but it is a really nice combo. Interdimensional Graft gains an Amber, and then if your opponent forges a key on their next turn, they have to give you their remaining Amber. That can be pretty strong. It's a really bad late game, or just an Amber late game, I suppose. But having it at the right moment can be really good. How do you help make sure you have a card at the right moment? You can archive it. Lab Work gains an Amber and archives a card. I love it. Okay, and we have a library access in here. That, combined with the Timetraveller, has some pretty good potential for doing cool work. But anyway, the library access for the remainder of the turn, each time you play another card, you draw a card. That is strong potentially. Phase Shift. This is really good with the library access. Phase Shift lets you play a non-logos card on this turn. So if you have the library access played, you play the Phase Shift, you draw a card from the library access, and then when you play that non-logos card from the Phase Shift, you draw another card from library access. So it's a really nice setup. Strange Gizmo is an artifact that gains you 1 Amber when it's played, and then it says after you forge a key, destroy each creature and artifact. This one I have mixed feelings about. I used this for my first key forge in the game I played today. It gave me a lot of Amber from killing my Dust Imps, but obviously also wiped my board, and that was it was just interesting. I think I was mostly there was an Untamed card I was sad to lose, but anyway, pretty interesting. Bat Drone, never sorry to see this. It's a 2-power robot that has Skirmish and Fight, Steal 1. Great. Not a lot of steel in this deck. This gives me at least a little bit, which is nice. Brain Eater is a cyborg beast with 6 power, and after a creature is destroyed fighting Brain Eater, you draw a card. So decent chance to draw a card there. And Ganymede Archivist gives us another chance to archive. When he reaps, you archive a card. So that's really nice. Oh yeah, and Quixo the Adventurer, 3 power, has Skirmish and Fight, draw a card. So just another way to potentially draw in here. Oh, and Mother, I forgot. Yep, Mother, 5 power, and during your draw card step, you refill your hand to 1 additional card. Oh, and then last but not least, Timetraveller, who gains an Amber when he's played, and when you play him, you draw 2 cards, and he can exhaust to shuffle himself into your deck. There's, a really fun situation here where if you can, play library access, help from future self, Timetraveller, at that point you've drawn 3 cards. 4 cards. Yep, you've drawn 4 cards, and there's a lot of potential for other good draws in here. So this deck definitely has the potential to draw the whole thing into the hand, which can be quite nice. So haven't made that happen yet, but I'm excited to play around with it more. Okay, and then on to Untamed. We have Cooperative Hunting. Did this with the Phase Shift earlier. That was pretty cool. So Cooperative Hunting deals 1 damage for each friendly creature in play, and you can divide the damage among any number of creatures. Save the Pack destroys each damaged creature and gives you a chain. Potentially really good with the Cooperative Hunting if you can just do a smattering of damage across a bunch of their creatures and then save the pack. You get to just destroy a bunch of their creatures and leave your own alone, which is nice. Vigor gains you an Amber, heals up to 3 damage from a creature, and if you did heal 3 damage, then you gain an Amber. That with the Cooperative Hunting also has nice combo potential there. Get that extra Amber if you have spare damage that you don't really need to apply to something. Ritual of Balance is an artifact that exhausts to do if your opponent has 6 Amber or more, steel one. So this is, other than the bat drone, the only steel in the deck. But steel that you can use multiple times over and over again. So potentially pretty good. Assault Bear, 5 power with Assault 2. Just nice strong creature there. Dew Fairy, 2 power and elusive. And when it reaps, you gain 1. So that means you gain the 1 from the reap plus the 1 from the reap ability. For a 2 amber gain, that's pretty strong. And there are 2 of them in here. Yeah, I was gaining a lot of amber from those in the game I played earlier. Mermoo is 3 power and makes your opponent's keys cost +1. That's cool. That's really nice. It's especially nice, I think, with the Ritual of Balance and the Bat Drone. It's just a little more chance to maybe keep your opponent off from forging. Niffle Ape is 3 power, and when Niffle Ape is attacking, you ignore Taunt and Elusive. There's 2 of them in here, and then also they have a queen. There's a Niffle Queen. Niffle Queen is a 6 power creature that is Beast and Niffle and gives all your other friendly Beast creatures +1 power, and also your other friendly Niffle creatures +1 power. So that effectively makes the Niffle Apes 5 power, and they still ignore Taunt and Elusive, which is great. It makes the Mermoo 4 power. It makes the Ancient Bear 6 power. I think it even is the... Yeah, it even makes Brain Eater 7 power, so that's kind of a fun little combo there. I don't think it interacts with any of my Beast creatures. No, it does not. Okay, and then last card, we have Witch of the Eye, one of my favorite creatures. She's 3 power, and when she reaps, you can return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Good targets in Untamed might be like the Mermoo or the Vigor or the Cooperative Hunting could be really good. But that could also be a way to pull Library Access out again or something like that and prepare for a power turn. Anyway, yeah, just a lot of really good ramp potential here. Good hand management ramp with the Logos, and of course Amber ramp. Pretty strong with the Untamed. And yeah, I'm excited to get some more practice in with this and get better with it, because I definitely think it has a higher potential than I played it to earlier today. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you're as excited for the Age of Ascension release as I am. I'm really stoked to have it in my hands and be able to start doing openings of those decks. And yeah, get out there and forge some more keys.